Hi, I'm Kushan Mitra, contributing editor at ThePrint. And by now, you probably know that I talk cars and I write about cars. And I am currently in southern Karnataka driving through this beautiful landscape. Driving a vehicle, I feel, can be a game changer in the electric vehicle market in India. This is the Kia Carens Clavis electric, and I think it'll be a game changer for two reasons. But let's talk about the headline numbers first. So, this is very, very similar to what Hyundai launched with the Creta Electric. It has a similar battery packs. I'm driving the HTX Plus with the 51.4 kilowatt hour battery pack that Kia claims has a range of 490 kilometers. I've been driving this car for over 80 kilometers today. I'm getting about 8.3 to 8.5 kilometers per kilowatt hour, but I'm using all the mod cons and I've been driving slightly enthusiastically, stopping a bit for recording video. I think this car's real world range will be closer to about 450 kilometers if you drive sensibly. Other than that, you get a ton of features on this car, not only a panoramic sunroof, but level 2 ADAS. And I really think Kia does very, very well with the quality of the plastics and the interior fabrics they use in their vehicles. I really like this fabric piece over here, for example. You also get ambient lighting. So this is a fully loaded car. Now, let me talk about the two reasons I feel the Kia Carens Clavis Electric will be a game changer. First, the private buyers. In the past 2 decades, most Indian car buyers have been first-time car buyers, particularly people who bought a car over the last decade. Now, as they get older, they would want to upgrade their car. Now, they might have started out with a hatchback or even a small SUV. Some of them obviously will buy larger SUVs. But looking at trends, say in China right now, I think in India as well, many people will choose to buy an MPV, a 3-row MPV, like the Carens Clavis, or say the Maruti Ertiga, or XL6, or Toyota Rumion. These vehicles will do very, very well. Now, of course, there is a Toyota Innova Hycross and Innova Krista, but that's a lot more expensive. These vehicles, if you buy them in ICE models, start at around 15 lakh. And the Carens Clavis Electric starts at 18 lakhs. This model I am driving, the fully loaded one, is closer to 25 lakhs ex showroom. Depending on various states where you have zero road tax and registration for electric vehicles, you'll only pay that amount plus insurance in, say, Delhi, NCR. All the states in the NCR have electric vehicle policies. In Karnataka, you have slightly lower road tax for electrics on the other hand. So this vehicle makes sense when you have to do the school drop. You're slightly older now, right? You have a family, you go on long holidays, you have to drop your kid to school, and the running cost of an electric is fabulous. You possibly also are slightly altruistic. You're going to your son or daughter's school, right? And you want to, not have a green number plate, means you're not polluting the environment. And very honestly, when you look at the running cost of an electric, it's fantastic. This car, as I said, it cost me less than just over rupee a kilometer to run, not less. It can cost less if I really, really drove it on higher regeneration modes. I have been driving a level 1 regeneration all day, but when I want to have a little bit of fun, I do use the paddles to adjust the regeneration. And that's another thing with the Carens Clavis Electric. It is a fun car. Now, this larger battery pack extended range model also comes with a 170 PS motor. That's more power than you get from the 1.5 turbocharged engine from both Hyundai and Kia. And that means when I really need to go, like I am right now, this car can move. It's really exciting to drive, and you get back some of that power as you regenerate power. So I can just go down to level 2. I've got to take this turn, so I regenerate a little bit more power. So you can have fun if you play with the paddles to regenerate power. And not only that, it's economical to run. You feel a bit good about yourself for having an electric vehicle with no tailpipe emissions. You've got more than enough range at about 450 kilometers. Maybe if you drive enthusiastically, you'll get only 400 with this car, but that's more than enough to get from, say, a Delhi to a Chandigarh or Delhi to a Jaipur. And right now, very honestly, as I've seen with other cars, there are more than enough chargers on the highway. This car can accept 100 kilowatt charging speed, which means it can get from 10% to 80% of charge in under half an hour, which is fantastic. Now, the other reason I believe the Carens Clavis Electric will be a game changer, can have huge sales success, is the taxi segment. Now, taxi drivers are not altruistic. They're not going to be buying an electric vehicle because they feel good about themselves. They'll buy an electric vehicle because it is cheap to run. And because this vehicle has decent amount of range, so even with the 43 kilowatt hour battery pack, you'll get close to 400, maybe 350 in the real world. And that will mean that an average urban taxi driver, whether it's in the NCR or the MMR, Bengaluru, Chennai or Hyderabad, will not need to charge this vehicle more than once a day. Unlike, say, a CNG guy who'll have to go to the CNG pump twice a day, waste a lot of time in CNG lines, as you can see in NCR all the time. In southern India, where diesel taxis still work, maybe not, but definitely in Mumbai or in Delhi, where diesel is getting out of fashion, definitely in the NCR, this vehicle can do very, very well. Plus, the running costs of electric are lesser than diesel. Now, you might buy this for altruistic reasons as a private car buyer because you may not even hit the kilometers you need to really for an electric to make sense, even though this is not that much more expensive than the Carens ICE. But definitely in the commercial vehicle segment, this car makes economic sense. Now, while a taxi driver may not have a charger at home, they will go to a public charging point operator like Static, Charge Zone, GeoBP, and so many others nowadays across the country. The huge advantage that taxi fleet operators have is they have bulk power purchase deals with these charging point operators. So whereas I pay 25 rupees per unit after GST from a CPO, a taxi operator probably pays 15 rupees per unit plus GST, and they can actually claim GST input, which I cannot when I buy power from a charging point operator. Plus, the MPV is growing in the taxi segment because large families are traveling together. You have these MPVs being used for the pickup and drop at call centers and at large IT campuses. This is a very comfortable, large MPV, cheap to operate. So taxi operators will have a blast with this car. In fact, I was talking to Kia India officials last night at the briefing session, and they told me they'll be coming out with a mobility focused Carens Clavis EV. It'll be a bit better than the Carens right now, which is mainly a mobility model. But by the way, as you can see, the ride on this car is fantastic over these patches of road that are not great. So again, back to the point, a mobility version, definitely no sunroof because you'll have to put roof rails on the car, maybe analog dials over here. I mean, no ventilated seats, fabric seats instead of leatherette and all of that. But I genuinely think as a taxi, this can be because you get luggage space. You do not lose luggage space to a huge CNG tank. A single charge a day, even with the smaller battery pack. Maybe Kia could offer the larger battery pack, but with the smaller motor, less powerful motor. It would tick all the boxes. And taxi operators are purchase almost between, I mean, it's estimated to purchase about 5% of the new cars in India every year go to taxi operators. So I think Kia has a good thing going now. Tata currently has a monopoly sort of on the electric taxi market with their Express T, which is the electric version of the Tigor. But I think these guys can do very, very well with this particular car in the mobility, in the taxi segment. But it's also with these, with the fully spec'd up model like I'm driving today, it can do fantastically well in the private car segment as well. I think Kia's got a good thing going. I think this car ticks all the boxes for practicality, for comfort, and everything else. Great car, and I really am looking forward to driving this for a month or so when I get it in Delhi.